Today we're breaking down some Fortune's Keep gameplay from a Warzone Pro, really paying attention to what is he doing that allows him to be successful and get high kills on this map. Now we're going to be breaking down gameplay from Teep, who is one of my favorite Warzone streamers. He's one of my favorite Warzone players and somebody that I watched a lot in order to progress myself. I've learned a lot from Teep over the past 2 years in terms of how to become a better player. Now one thing that I love about Teep is he's a former COD pro, he's a 5 KD player, but he's not flashy, and you're going to see that, right? We all know the Joes and the Aidens who are super flashy with their movement. They have these crazy plays, but Teep's very strategic in his gameplay. You'll see a lot of how I play in his gameplay as well, or I guess the other way around. Now, with this game, I chose a very specific game, and then we'll start to get into this breakdown here. They're just kind of looting up here. They're going to get load out, and while we're doing that, you know, I scoured about 2 hours of gameplay from a lot of Warzone pros trying to find the right game to break down for you. I don't want anything too crazy. I don't want anything to feel unattainable. So I ended up going with this gameplay right here. Here's the 2 things that I found. One, 30 bombs are very difficult to get on this map. It's either solos or it's a bot lobby. So this isn't the craziest high kill game, but you're going to see a lot of the strategy involved in terms of how he approaches fights. Now, the other thing to notice is this lobby's pretty dead, right? You know, only 31 people left. Yes, people are going to respawn back in. This lobby ends up dying a little bit quick, but it's a sweaty lobby that he executes in. So as we're getting load out here, you know, first things first is his strategy. He's going to take fights on solo, meaning he's going to be splitting from a squad, really trying to take fights individually. Be smart. He's going to act quick. He's not going to allow teams to stack. A lot of you say, Joe, I'm dealing with stack teams all the time. What am I supposed to do? Well, a lot of times you're allowing those teams to stack because you're not executing. So as we're getting going here, he's going to go ahead and push over left. He's going to be able to take one off the top of the roof. And real quick, if you are looking to get better at Fortune's Keep, I'm a 4KD player myself. My whole goal is just to help you get better. I'm a 4KD on Fortune's Keep and Rebirth. I do daily videos for both game modes, so if you are looking to get better, just consider hitting that subscribe button down below. He's able to execute on this guy. Now notice 2 people are to the right, 1 over to the left. His teammates have the guys over to the right, so he's going to go ahead and push over to the left here. Now watch how strategic he is in this approach. When he pushes up, right, he's got the NZ out. By the way, this was, I'm going to be totally honest with you. Like I said, I was very strategic in my game. This was pre-taped taped grip nerf. So there still is that increased mobility on the Blixen. He knows he's down here trying to see what he can find. And you see him catch this guy right here. Now notice he doesn't full send this, right? He can definitely go in and push this, but he's going to play the reach out. And this is where he does run amped, right? This is why I love Combat Scout, because I know exactly where that guy is going to move. He runs amped, so he's going to play this a little bit more patient. He's going to see what he can find. He's going to challenge. This way, boom, he's back behind, and now he goes and pushes up. He's playing these angles, right? And he knows he has the advantage, so he's going to go ahead and get the down and thirst. Now, the one thing I don't want to pay attention to too much with is going to be his, like, aim and movement, right? Of course, those are going to be a little bit better, but like I said, his movement's nothing flashy. There's one moment that I really love in this game mode, or in this game right here, that we'll pay attention to and talk about. He's going to go ahead. This was also pre-NZ. He's able, pre-NZ nerf, he's able to get that break. So now he's going to go ahead and push in. Now he, once again, knows he has the advantage. So you just got to be able to execute here, right? You don't want to get caught in a situation where you're caught off guard. And we're going to notice that as he's pushing in, notice he has those crosshairs out. Not only that, he hip fires. So his crosshairs are out right here. Crosshairs are out right there. He's able to get that down and thirst. One flying in above, so he's going to go ahead and see what he can find. And this is a 20-plus kill win. I'll tell you that. It's a 23-kill win. He dies twice, one of which is because he flies back in on loadout. He's going to tag that guy. Now he's going to go push. So notice how he's constantly acting on that next piece of information that he gets. First time it was down the hill. Next time it was somebody flying in. This time now it's one flying in this way. He's going to go ahead and challenge. Now, as he gets this thirst here, right, he's going to get shot in the back. Now, this is where I talk about him not being flashy. Most players that are really good, the Joes and the Aidens, would stim play this, which he does, and immediately go to break the camera, right? That's what a lot of times we see. What he does is he keeps this crate, he keeps the crate between him and his enemy. Watch. So, and I'll pull this back full speed for you. Guy's pushing left, so he's just going to rotate around. Guy's right, basically straight across from him. So he keeps this cover right here, allows him to plate. Now he's full plated. He catches this guy this way. Now just immediately challenges in. He's able to get that down. He's able to get that thirst. So when we pull that back, here's what it looks like. He's able to get this down and thirst right here. Watch how he uses his cover so well. Can't really pull back. He knows the guy's going left. He keeps this between the two of them, now he's able to challenge once he's full plates. So that's where, you know, he doesn't have this crazy flashy movement. A lot of times he's just being strategic about his cover and putting himself in good situations, or, you know, being able to get himself out of bad situations by using things like cover and a little bit of movement. Now, next piece of information, he's got the bounty over here. Doesn't really think about it. He just pushes over. And watch again. Now, one thing I do want to talk about, he has a lot of BR experience. A lot of Verdansk, a lot of Caldera. He plays Rebirth here and there, but a lot of those too. So you're going to see that in this game, where he's a little bit more cautious on this approach, right? Instead of pushing right in, he's going to go ahead and play this top hill and then find the angle to look down on the guy. Now, he's just going to see what he can find. Not really sure just yet. And based on where this bounty is, he's going to center to this left side. He catches a quick glimpse right there. Now he's going to execute. Once again, he does this little reach out right here. And I'll highlight this a little bit throughout this game because he does this a lot, where he kind of loses the advantage a little bit. So he challenges, and then he goes and re-challenges again, kind of catching his enemy a little bit off guard. It's one move that I want you to learn is there's certain moments where things are going to start to take a turn for you, and you'll start to notice these as you become a better player. One down below, right? So immediately acts on that information. Here's shots fired. Obviously, being a COD pro, like, he's very good at using his minimap and picking up on those audio cues and having that awareness. So he's going to use that to his advantage. But going back to what I was saying, you know, one place I want you to work on is starting to pay attention to when you don't have an advantage in a 50-50 fight, when you're in a bad position, and starting to get out of that instead of trying to just challenge that. Next piece of information, he's going to go ahead and push up this way. Breaks that guy, so now he challenges. Right here, he's going to catch one to his right. Catches, he hears the bush, he hears the tree move. Now, as he challenges right here, super unfortunate situation because he has this guy back here. He actually got stuck with the Semtex, and I think he's in a really good spot to still win this 1v2 or 1v3 or whatever if he doesn't get stuck with the Semtex. Super unfortunate. What we're going to see here is he gets thirsted. He does what we all do. He's a former COD pro. He's a Warzone pro. But you know what? He does the same thing that we all do. And I think that's one thing I want to highlight is it's okay. Flies back on a loadout. Guy's literally just sitting on his loadout. Now his teammate's going to go ahead and clear it out for him. He's able to go ahead and grab it. 7 kills, only 6 other teams. This is where I say the lobby did die out a little bit. And that's one thing to pay attention to, you know, when dropping these higher kill games is you do need to kind of rely on the lobby staying healthy. And sometimes those things are out of your control. He hasn't wiped any teams, but if other teams are wiping teams, then you're kind of in a bad spot. And I kind of want to pick this up again once he gets out of this situation. Notice the regain. His teammates now help him regain. He's going to go ahead and plate up here. Then he's back in the fight. Gets the kill. He's got 9. Now, watch this play right here. Do we want to slow-mo this? Let's go ahead and slow-mo this first, and then I'll break it down. And then we'll play at full speed. So he's going to hear this guy left. Let me slow this down. Remember when I talked about that situation of knowing when you're going to lose a 50-50 or when you're in a bad spot? So he gets shot first, right? This guy's on a nasty heady. He breaks him, but he's already committed to basically re-challenge it. Let's try that again. To re-challenging this and then going and pushing this way. Boom. So I guess all in all, what I want you to learn from this is watch how quick this happens. He commits to going left and then immediately re-challenging because it gives him the advantage. It creates that slight window that he needs to keep his enemy off guard. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what allows us to take less damage. Now, this is where I talk about teep being very strategic. Teep knows he's fighting by himself. He's going to go in and buy a self-revive instead of anything else. So he's going to use that to his advantage, use that cash. He's going to push up this way. Not really sure exactly what he's going to be able to find around here, but he's going to act on this information here in a second. And watch again. Watch how strategic he is. He knows they're shooting to the right. He's going to keep his high ground, right? So guys right over this way to his right. He sees him flying in. Now, instead of... Hold on, let me pull this back. Instead of pushing straight down, which is what a lot of us would do here, right? Instead of pushing this way, a lot of us would push right down into this area, right? He takes half second longer. He's going to push and keep his high ground. He's going to shoot this guy right here. He's going to immediately go challenge guy number 2. And he notices that 1 is right up this way, right? So he's going to get out of here. Once again, he gets the thirst to figure out where anybody is, right? Is another teammate pushing me potentially? No. Okay, I'm going to plate up. Now he's going to go ahead and re-challenge this on the heady. He's going to use the loadout to his advantage as cover, make it so that As he zooms in, notice this guy's on a heady, but he's also on a heady, making it very tough for him to actually get shot. This is where we can still challenge and use this to our advantage and use this cover. And he has the burst on, unfortunately. You know, hey, Warzone pros do it too. He's going to use this little window to push up. Doesn't necessarily worry about plating just yet, but he's able to get that down. He's able to get that thirst. One more flying in. He hears the parachute. He challenges this, and you can see the confidence that he has to execute. That is something that will come as you get better with aim and movement, knowing when you have an advantage and when you can catch an enemy off guard and create that window that you need to close the health gap, right? So if you're half plates and he's full plates, that's really not that many bullets, so you only need a small window to execute. Now he knows that there's one, he's basically a bunch of people around, so he's watching his back here, knowing that he has cover. Watch how he's always worried about his cover, right? So he knows that one's up here, right? He doesn't want to get shot in the back, and he has cover from these two players over this way. So he knows he's in a good spot, and now he's going to go ahead and push these two over this way. Boom, he challenges around that corner, anticipates really well, gets the down, gets the thirst. Still worried about the one over to the right, so he's going to go ahead and plate up. There's one to his left, but notice the one to his left, they have a UAV up, so he's not really concerned about that guy pushing him, because if he tries to push, he's going to see it happen. He's going to quick peek this way. Doesn't see anything. Sees the heady. I mean, that's just a really... That's one of those where if you can mix in a few headshots there, you can actually get that down, but it's very, very tough. One over right here. Obviously shooting at his teammate that he's able to help out. He's got 16 kills. He's got 3 other teams. And by the way, you're going to see again in this end game where he's just very strategic about how he plays. He's always thinking about 2 things. Dropping high kill games by staying alive, right? By staying alive is the key part. You know, making sure he's executing well and putting himself in the best position possible, which is what I teach a lot of times. Now you kind of see where I get that from is from watching him for so long. And I watched him a lot on Verdansk. And then, of course, when I switched over to Rebirth, I really started to implement those same things. And of course, now that we're in Fortune's Keep, just putting ourselves in good positions. The longer that we can stay alive means that we don't have to do anything fancy. Now, only 3 other teams left, right? I always say in Fortune's Keep that end games tend to be really healthy. Sometimes these games happen where lobbies die out and you have 3 other teams and like the map is just so big. It's really unfortunate. They have the big game bounty. He's trying to see what he can find. He's kind of back with his teammates at this point. Just trying to find kills where they can. And we're going to run into a super unfortunate situation right here with his teammates. So 1 second left. Respawn disabled. Merc goes down. Then Cloaksy's going to go down, which, yes, he's playing with Merc and Cloaksy. He plays with them pretty often, especially on this map. And Respawn's disabled. Now he's going to go ahead and get this guy right here. Gets the down, gets the thirst. That's just good positioning. We got another one right above, flying that way. He almost gets him with the NZ. Can't quite get him, just misses. He loses him in the tree. I think if he doesn't lose him in the tree, he hears the one down below. And watch how he plays this right here. 3 people, right? So he's got 1 up above over here, and he's got 2 down below this way pushing him. So watch how he plays this. He's going to challenge this guy. Once again, notice that re-challenge right there. This is the same thing that I told you about. He sees the guy pushing. Boom, he's going to fake the reach-out, or he's going to fake the push in, and then immediately reach-out, catches that guy off guard. Why? Because this guy right here thinks that he's running away. Well, he's not. So he once again does the same thing. He's able to get the down. He keeps cover from this enemy that was shooting at him, right? And then he pushes, gets the thirst, gets the information. He has 1 up above. He's got 1 flying over to his left. He's able to get that down right there. He probably should have used cluster. I don't think he did, but watch this lucky find. This is streamer loot right here. You can't argue with this. This is streamer loot. Ah, Daddy. So he's got 2 people over here. Obviously, they're going for the res. So he once again plays this smart, right? He puts himself in cover. Watch these slight little decisions that he makes. He doesn't push straight forward where he now is caught out in the open here with nowhere to go. No, he takes a half second to push this way, trying to see what he can find. He challenges around the corner. He gives away his location there, but that's fine. He's going to get the down. He's going to get the thirst. And that guy's caught with the sniper. And that, look, that's a really tough situation. That's where I think, like, if that guy hits that, I get frustrated. That's why I think the sniper should have reverse damage profiles where over 50 meters, anything over 50 meters, they one-shot. But within 50 meters, you know, you should be forced to use a sniper as it's intended, which is long-range fights. This is where I talk about this end game. He's got $10,000. $3,000 buybacks. So he's going to go buy all 3 of his teammates back. Like, let's go ahead and clutch this win right here. He doesn't need to be fancy. He doesn't need to do it himself. Could he? Yeah, it's a 1v2v1 at that time, right? It was 3 other people alive. He could have absolutely clutched that himself, but he's going to go ahead. He's going to grab the bounty here, which gives away one person's location. And you know what? He's just going to make the smart move, which is buy your teammates back. Let's go ahead and clutch up the dub. And those are the little decisions that you need to be paying attention to. Is like, okay, I've got $10,000. I'm just going to quickly go buy all 3 people back. He's able to get that kill right there. There's 23. Last 2 are on radar. Those big game bounties are great for end games because they give away the location of, you know, everybody, kind of the direction that they're moving. He's able to get that tag right there. He's going to have a little bit of fun. I hope you found today's video helpful. Biggest things to take away from this gameplay is just putting yourself in those good positions, playing a little bit more strategic in terms of the fights that you put yourself in, as well as the approach. I hope you found today's video helpful. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.